The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Game Podcast Network is brought to you by EdgeBoost. Bang over better. Sign up today. EdgeBoost.peppercode HPN to get a $5 deposit bonus. And welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Game Podcast Network. It is currently Sunday afternoon, May 25th, around 5 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm Roast Episode Scott Reichel. Once again, joined by Dylan and Rockford together. We're going to break down the games here for the Monday card. 12 games, I believe, so it should be a pretty, I'd say, eventful card. But I know we've had some baseball today. Dylan, how's it going with you? How's your weekend been?
My weekend's been good. Happy Memorial Day. My weekend's been good so far. Honestly, not a soda guy, Scott, but I've had this Dr. Pepper cream soda today and yesterday. Let me tell you, 10 out of 10.
10
It's
out of 10?
fantastic. Fantastic.
I'm trying to think if I'm really a cream soda guy at all, and I'm not. I think Dr. Brown's Black Cherry is a solid soda, but it's not really soda. It's not really cream soda, but
Are you a
yeah,
Dr. Pepper guy?
I don't mind it. I feel
Yeah.
like there are better sodas out there, but I'm not against Dr. Pepper. I think Dr. Pepper tastes
Like,
pretty
what's
good.
your like? If you had one soda for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Ooh, one soda for the rest of my life. I'm trying to think if it would be Mountain Dew or if it would be ginger ale.
Wow.
Probably Mountain Dew.
The Shaun White's that interview after the Olympics is the best thing ever.
Yeah. But
But
I
yeah.
think I'd probably say Mountain Dew if I had to go with anything, but I think ginger ale is underrated.
Oh, I do too, especially when you're sick. It's the best.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
definitely, I'd say
Cool.
two choices that I had there. But either way, I do want to ask you how your baseball's been. Have you enjoyed your Sunday?
My Sunday's been okay. It's been a little cold over here. I know you're in New York as well. It's been a little cold here, but I went 3-1 so far. And surprisingly enough, the one game that I did lose was the Red Sox. I mean, they got their ass kicked by the Orioles. But other than that, Cubs come back and win a high scoring game, 11-8. St. Louis, they claw out another one. And Milwaukee, they squeeze by Pirates. So 3-1 on the day. How have your bets been so far?
Overall, still waiting to see. Can't really complain too much. I know Adam's been into the exotic props. So we've been kind of
That
experimenting with some of
parlay he
those.
sent us was crazy.
Yeah, so point is, a couple of those have been good, like bankroll builder stuff. But
Yeah.
besides that, still kind of waiting it out, as there's still a couple of games that have yet to be decided yet. Yankees are in a rain delay right now. They are winning. Royals did win 2-1 in overtime. In extras. And the Rangers avoided the sweep against the White Sox. Thank
Wow.
God.
They came
But
back.
they came back and they won. It was danger time, almost getting swept by the White Sox, but they came back and they won 5-4. But
That's
once
crazy.
again, some decent games. I know tennis started for the French Open today. I'd say a bit uneventful. Nothing too, I'd say, dramatic so far today. So I'll wait
You said
for.
there was a rain delay for the Yankees. What about the Indy 500? I thought there was a rain delay there too.
There might be. Truth is, I didn't pay attention to the Indy 500, so I
Wow.
haven't really been following. But I know the Yankees had a rain delay in course, so I'm not sure when they're going to continue. But either way, point is, should be a pretty fun remainder of the card on Sunday, and hopefully the one-day games are good too.
Mhm.
Anyway, before we get into any of the games, a reminder that we do have a discount code right now on the merch store. So go to the merch store. When you do so, use the promo code DGENS for 20% of everything in the merch store with code DGENS at checkout. Time to move on into the games here for the Monday cards. Starting off with the first game, you have the Giants taking on the Tigers. For this game, you have Birdsong against Montero. For the lines here, Tigers minus 110. The Giants are minus 106. So basically a pick 'em. And for the over-under, I see 8.5 with the juice of the under at minus 122. Saw the Tigers avoid the sweep because Skubal was an absolute monster. 9 innings, 13 strikeouts, I think, and 2 hits. So he just completely destroyed the Guardians, but they did not have a great weekend. For the Giants, it was decent, did win the finale against the Nationals. They won 2 out of 3, but the offense has kind of cooled off a litlittle bit. Birdsong, though, 2-0, 1.91 ERA. Montero, 1-1, 5.28 ERA. Think I'll go Giants here. I just think the price is pretty favorable, and I think Birdsong's been better than Montero. Not really a strong opinion either way. Total feels a bit high with the two offenses kind of cooling off a bit recently, but I'll go with the under, and I'll go with the Giants. I don't really like Montero at all. I'll go Birdsong instead.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I got to take the Tigers here, minus 110. My numbers made them a minus 150 favorite. I know the Tigers really haven't been playing the best baseball, especially in their last series of the Guardians, but they're still one of the best teams at home, 17-8 straight up. Giants are sitting around 500 here on the road. They don't hit particularly well on the road either, just 212 batting average on the road this season, while Tigers are averaging 4.8 runs per game at home. So I do think they have the better offense. Yes, I agree. Birdsong has been better than Montero, but I think we might see some runs here. I set my total at 8.8, so do think we'll see some runs here, but I'm going to take the Tigers. I think eventually they will bounce back.
Well, I hope they do. I mean, they've had a great season so far, but I will point out that the weekend offensively was not very good. And the fact is, they were able to win the final game because the Guardians couldn't hit because Schoolball was a monster who once again
Yeah.
had a max with 13 strikeouts in basically just an almost perfect game of pitching. Like, there's really nothing else to add there. So I think that the Giants have some value, but it should be a low scoring game in my opinion. I think it could go either way. Moving on to the next game, you have the Red Sox against the Brewers. Red Sox started the series off well against the Orioles, then fell off a cliff because they couldn't score the last two games. But you have Crochet against Patrick. The Red Sox are minus 160. The Brewers are plus 135. For the over-under, I see 7.5 or 8. First glance, I think 160 for the Red Sox might seem a bit cheap, actually, because Crochet is a lot better than Patrick. I'll go first 5 minus half a run. I think Boston offensively can do well against Patrick. I don't think Patrick's stuff is that great. Crochet, though, has been solid. Brewers not great against lefties. See a good spot for the Red Sox early in this game. Give me the Red Sox first 5 minus half a run.
Yeah, it should be a good pitching matchup here. I think Chad Patrick has been very solid at home, and we all know how good Garrett Crochet has been on the road. I made the Red Sox only a minus 130 favorite here. Red Sox are under 500 here on the road. Alex Bregman is dealing with that injury, so he's still out. And I think Brewers are backable at home, but I guess just trusting my eyes here, I haven't liked what I've seen out of them this weekend versus the Pirates. So I don't want to back either side. If anything, I would take the Brewers team total under. I think maybe around 3.5, 4. Crochet hasn't allowed more than 2 runs on the road all season. They're only averaging 3.76 runs at home anyway as a team, the Brewers. So they're hitting 219 at home, and versus lefties, they're only hitting 222. So I think it's going to be a tough one offensively here for the Brewers at home. So I would take the team total under for the Brewers, if anything.
Yeah, I can get behind that too, but I think you might get a decent price in that first 5 because the team total in the first 5 for Milwaukee might be like 1.5.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'd rather just expect the Red Sox to score potentially a bunch against Patrick while also getting Crochet, a couple of scripts to get there.
Yeah.
So I'll go with the team total. And I'll go with the, once again, first 5 run line instead. But I don't mind that team total with you. Moving on to the Rockies against the Cubs. Cubs had a nice comeback win because they never stopped scoring. The Reds can't pitch. For the Rockies, they're in the middle of a rain delay, but this team sucks anyway. 9-43, 3-22 on the road. Cubs minus 325, Rockies plus 260. Over/under is set at about 8.5. For the run line for the Cubs, you can find the minus 1.5 at around minus 150 or so. So a somewhat backable price. Not a great price, but I guess better than nothing. You Palmquist pitching for the Rockies, who's really bad, 0-2, 11.88 ERA. Tyone's been okay, 3-3, 4.13 ERA. I like the over in this game, and I like the Cubs minus 1.5. I think they'll kill this team, but Palmquist isn't any good. Cubs might score 7, so I'll go with the over, and I'll go with the Cubs minus 1.5.
Yeah, you forgot to mention, Scott. Rockies were able to get a win over the weekend. Now they're up to 9 wins on the season.
Yeah, well, they were, and then they lost the next game by like 13 runs, so it kind of balances out. But
exactly. I don't think they'll get to number 10 here, though. Just to be sure, I made the Cubs over a $3 favorite, but I would attack their team. I would attack the Cubs team total over. Small sample size, but Carson Palmquist has not been good for the Rockies, to say the least. He's given up 5 runs in his first start, 6 runs in his second start. And the Cubs smash left-handed pitching, 274 on the year. They're averaging almost 6 runs per game at home this season. One of the best offenses in the league. Rockies are literally the worst offense on the road. They're averaging just 2.44 runs. So that's why I kind of stayed away from the full game over, just because I don't know if the Rockies are going to be able to help get this total over. So I feel more confident in the Cubs team total over. I think they'll score anywhere from like 5, 6, maybe even 7 runs here. So yeah, I'm going to take the Cubs team total over.
yeah, I think I just also expect Tyone to give up a couple here or there.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't think Tyone's that great, so
No.
I'll go with the over instead. Kind of a way of cutting into the juice a little bit for the run line. Cubs should get there, but if the Cubs are probably scoring 7, which I think is a realistic number here, I'll give the Rockies 2. I'll give them that against Tyone. So that's how I'm going to go about it. Give me the over in that game.
Yeah, I think that's fair, and I think a lot of people in the chat are saying, Cubs ballpark over 8.5 is a nuke, but I would look at the wind. We see the wind at Wrigley. It is 10 mile an hour's wind blowing in tomorrow as well. So just keep an eye on that as well.
Yep, definitely important to keep in mind when you are talking about Wrigley totals, especially with one team that might not be able to score. Moving on to the next game, you have the Cardinals against the Orioles. Cardinals over the weekend had a pretty fun series against the Diamondbacks. Orioles actually won a couple games there, or at least were competitive in a couple of games against Boston. For this game, you have Fetty against we don't know because the Orioles had a double header over the weekend, so we'll see what they do for the rotation. But you have the Cardinals minus 115, Orioles minus 105, and the over-under in this game is set at about 9.5. Fed of the season's been fine. A 3-3, 3.77 ERA. Not good last start, though. 5 innings, 4 runs against the Tigers. But I will point out he gave up no runs the previous 2 starts combined. He has been a lot better on the road, though. 2.43 ERA on the road, 5.2 ERA at home. And, of course, it's a road game against Baltimore. I'm going St. Louis. I know this team is not great on the road. They're 11-15, but Baltimore is 8-15 at home. I don't know who's pitching for Baltimore. I don't know if it matters. This team can't pitch anyway. Given the Cardinals to find a way, might be an ugly game, maybe a 4-3 type game, but I do think this line feels pretty cheap. Give me St. Louis on the money line.
Yeah, I would agree. I took a minus 120 as well. My numbers made him a minus 140 favorite. Orioles, they've lost. It's Charlie Morton, right?
I'm assuming it might be, but I've not seen it confirmed yet.
Yeah, I thought I didn't see it confirmed, but that's who I think MLB.com has. So if it is him, the Orioles have literally lost every single start Uncle Charlie has made. There's no way I could back him. I know the Orioles were kind of competitive this weekend, but Eric Fetty, like you mentioned, he's been really good on the road for the Cardinals. He's only given up 2 runs on the road in his last 20 2/3 inning. They have the better offense. They're averaging around 4.73 runs per game on the road. And even no matter who starts, it doesn't matter if it's Charlie Moore and whoever they start, they're backed up by a bottom 5 bullpen as well. Now, Red Sox were kind of hurt this weekend, so that's why you might say, you know what, they actually performed pretty well. But against this offense, the Cardinals, who are hot right now, and they just keep finding ways to win. It seems like the Arizona Diamondbacks were winning 80% of this series, and then Cardinals just find ways to win. So I like this team. I think it's a cheap price, like you said, minus 120. I'll take them as well.
Yeah, I do want to point out, by the way, Baltimore did lose Rushman today, who left early. So I don't know how long he's going to be out for, but that is worth mentioning because, of course, he is the catcher for that team. Moving on to the next game, you have the Blue Jays against the Rangers. Now, for this game, you have Gausman against DeGrom. DeGrom's been insane lately. Rangers are minus 155. The Blue Jays are plus 130, and the over-under in this game is set at about 7.5. For this game, I get why the Rangers are minus 155. Problem is the team really can't hit, and this team almost got swept by the White Sox. As for Gausman, though, he's been okay. A 4-4, 4.03 ERA. Was very good last start, though. 7 innings and no runs against the Padres. Do want to point out, though, his home road splits. For the last couple of years, he's been very good at home and bad on the road. This year's no different. 5.27 ERA on the road, 2.93 ERA at home. For this game, I want to go with DeGrom and the Rangers, but I can't stand this team's offense. I kind of want to go under. Maybe Blue Jays team total under instead. I'll ignore Gausman. I'll back DeGrom. I think the Blue Jays get held in check here. They also were awful over the weekend. I think they scored 2 runs combined in the 3 games against the Rays, unless they scored a couple late in the game today. I'm pretty sure they scored 2 runs combined in the entire series. Team can't hit. DeGrom's been great. Yeah, give me the Blue Jays team total under in this game.
Yeah, I most likely won't bet this game, but I would agree. I would take the under 7.5 if anything. My total came out to 7.1. I can't back the Rangers right now. They've lost 5 in a row. Oh, well, they did come back today, but they almost got swept by the White Sox over the weekend. They just don't score enough runs, and to be honest, their bullpen hasn't really looked good either this past week. DeGrom, he's been great, but kind of reminds me of when he was on the Mets. He could give you 7-8 innings scoreless, and then they won't be able to give him any run support. So, I mean, I really don't expect the Blue Jays to score a ton of runs either. Under's been profitable for both teams. 7-10 for the under for the Rangers, including 5 straight for them, and 6-3-1 towards the under their last 10 for the Blue Jays as well. And outside of that one poor start from Gausman, he's been great at home. He just threw 7 scoreless innings against the Padres in his last start. So I agree. I think we see another low-scoring game. If anything, I would take the Blue Jays, honestly.
Yeah, but DeGrom, I do think at the end of the day is much better than Gausman. He rode Gausman's ERA is over 5 again. So it's really tough. I don't want to lay 155 with Texas, even though they probably should win this game. Both offenses stink. I don't mind the under, but give me the Blue Jays team total under instead so I don't have to bother watching the Rangers try to hit the ball. Moving on to the next game. Matchup between the White Sox and the Mets. For this one, you have Hauser against Holmes. Mets are minus 325. White Sox, who just won a series, are plus 260. For the over-under, I see the line being set at about 8.5. For the run line in this game, I see Mets minus 1.5 at about minus 160. So for this game, I mean, Hauser was signed at the last minute by the White Sox, and he was great. Gave up no runs in the entire game, and he ended up going 6 innings. So that was definitely not expected, as they won 1-0. We know that Holmes was a serious question mark entering the season, being a converted reliever. He's been good, 5-3, once again a 3.13 ERA, and he's given up less than 3 earned in 2 of his last 3 starts, but he has allowed 5 home runs in his last 3 starts. So the point is, he has been giving up some hard contact recently, but as a whole, been doing a pretty good job. It's really Mets run line, or if you want to go for the White Sox, you can. I'll ask you, because the White Sox won a series, but they're not a good team. The Rangers might just be awful. So it's kind of tough to evaluate. But do you want to lace with the Mets? Because they had a pretty weird series against the Dodgers, and it's not over yet. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here Sunday Night Baseball. I'm going to go with a total here. I'm going to go under 8.5. White Sox can't score on the road. They're probably like the 3rd worst team scoring runs on the road, 2.88 runs per game on the road. And surprisingly, I know it was a late signing, but Adrian Hauser was decent in his first start versus the Mariners. He went 6 scoreless innings. The game ended 2-0. And we also talk about fading teams that play Sunday Night Baseball. Even though there's no travel involved here with the Mets, there are going to be some sluggish bats with this team, and they're not sluggers by any means. This Mets team has been a dead under team this whole year. I think it continues tomorrow. I don't expect the White Sox to score a bunch of runs. I think we see maybe a 4-1, 5-1, 5-2 type of game. So I agree with the Mets, the run line, but it depends on what number you're going to get. I really don't like laying juice on the run line, but I take the under 8.5, if anything.
I think I agree. I think this total feels a bit high, especially with the Mets offense not really being great either in the last couple of games. Before we get into any of the other games on the card here for Monday, a reminder that we're brought to you by our sponsor, which is Edge Boost, because the first-time banking for bettors, or they're ensuring that all your gambling transactions are approved, no usage fees, no balance, cash rewards as well. 100% approval for opening deposit. Sign up today. EdgeBoost.bet, promo code SGPN. When you deposit $25, Edge will match your deposit. EdgeBoost.bet, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Untitled Fantasy, because Untitled Fantasy is going long for the NBA playoffs with their extender bonus. Hop in game 1, and the longer the series goes, the bigger the bonus gets. When you sign up, though, for your new account, use the promo code MLBSGPN. Get a special pick and a first time visit offer up to 1K bonus cash on Fantasy promo code MLBSGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through the first couple games on the Monday card. Time to keep rolling here with the Reds taking on the Royals. The Reds, the series over the weekend, really couldn't pitch, and the Cubs made them pay for it. For the Royals, though, had a nice win in extras on Sunday against the Twins. So it was a low-scoring series. They were able to perform okay for the most part. But you Martinez against Lorenzen here. 2 pitchers with similar stats. The Royals are minus 120. The Reds are even money. Martinez, though, 2-5, 3.43 ERA. Lorenzen is 3-5, 3.77 ERA. And for the over-under in this game, I see it being set at 8.5. I'll ask you, because the Royals every year are very good at home and bad on the road. This year's no different, 17-9. For the Reds, they are 12-14 on the road. Martinez, though, has been good lately. He has allowed 1 run in his last 2 starts combined. In fact, he's allowed less than 2 earned runs in 4 of his last 5. And Lorenzen, he battles. I'll put it that way. I don't think he's great, but he finds ways to get by, even though he's not been that good lately. He has allowed 4+ runs in 2 of his last 4. I'll ask you, because the Reds' offense was great this weekend. Didn't matter because they couldn't pitch. But the Royals have been a pretty under-friendly team this season. What do you like in this one?
Yeah, we're going to go. Honestly, real quick, I do like the under, but the Royals' money line does have good value, I feel like. I made him a minus 140 favorite, but I'm going to take the under 8.5. My total came out to a flat 8. Michael Lorenzen is just a totally different pitcher at home than he is on the road this season. Only 2 runs given up in 19 innings, and all 3 of his home starts have gone under this total. And Nick Martinez, I've liked what I've seen. A little inconsistent, but I've liked what I've seen in the month of May from him. 1.80 ERA. He doesn't walk batters, and the last 7 starts have gone under this total. So 2 underwhelming offenses, like you said, and the wind. 13-mile-an-hour winds blowing in tomorrow as well in Kansas City. So I think this is a dead under game.
I think I'll go first 5. I want nothing to do with the Reds bullpen after this past weekend. I want
That's fair.
nothing to do with it.
That's
If
fair.
you want to go maybe for an angle on Martinez outs, I don't mind that too because the Reds burned everybody over the weekend because nobody could get an out.
Mhm.
So I don't mind Martinez outs in the game tomorrow as well. Moving on to the next game, you have the Dodgers against the Guardians. Dodgers also playing Sunday Night Baseball. Guardians did get shut out by Skubal. Not their fault, but still not a great way to end the series, but still had a good series. They won every game besides the game on Sunday. For this one, though, you have Yamamoto against Williams. The Guardians are plus 155. Dodgers minus 185. Yamamoto has been great this season. 5-3, 1.86 ERA. Williams, though, 4-2, 3.94 ERA. Over/under in this game is set at about, I see 8 flat. I'll ask you because the Dodgers should win this game, but it's on Sunday Night Baseball or it's off Sunday Night Baseball, which is a great fade spot. Williams does have okay numbers. Walks can be an issue, and the Dodgers we know have a great offense. But I'll ask you because I want to back Yamamoto, but it's an expensive price for a team off Sunday Night Baseball with travel.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what we do, and we're going to fade the Dodgers here. I only made them a minus 150 favorite. Minus 185, I get it. Yamamoto's been amazing, but on the road, playing Sunday Night Baseball, they're probably not going to get into Cleveland around 2, 3 in the morning. Their bats are going to be sluggish as well. And Gavin Williams, he's been solid in the month of May. He's only given up more than 2 runs one time in his last 6 starts. You know, the Dodgers are only hitting 246 on the road this season, and the Guards have been playing some good baseball. You know, they just took 3 or 4 from the Tigers. They're 14-8 straight up at home this season. Plus 160, I think the value is definitely with the Guardians. 7.5, I do see 7.5s out there. Seems a little low. My total came out to 8.1, so I would take the over as well, but I think the value is with the Guardians.
I think I agree. It's mostly just based on the spot for the Dodgers traveling to Cleveland after a late night game. So I think I'll pass on that too. You mentioned the potential over. I'll pass with the Dodgers potentially having a late flight there. So maybe if you want to go for the first 5 under, full game. I mean, I don't know. Dodgers bullpen's not very good. Tanner Scott's been a mess the past week. He tried to gift the Mets the game on Friday night. They couldn't score a run in extras anyway, so the Dodgers won, but they gave up 3 in the 9th inning. And he's been a mess. So keep that in mind. Scott has been a fade in the bullpen recently, but I do think it should be a lower scoring game. Don't mind the first 5 under in that one as well. Moving on to the last game, or not the last game, sorry. We have a couple more games to go. You have the Twins against the Rays. For this game, you have a match between Paddock and Littell. For the actual pricing here, the Rays are, I'd say, in decent form. Swept the Blue Jays over the weekend, so good job by them. And they are rewarded for that weekend performance by being about minus 120. For the Twins, I see plus 105 with Paddock pitching. Paddock has quietly been decent this year. 2-4, 3.98 ERA. For the recent performances, though, he's allowed 3 runs in his last 3 starts combined. Littell, we know, pitches to contact. He's been okay. Going through the last couple of starts, though, he has allowed at least 2 runs in 5 straight, but not really more than 2 that often. So we've seen both pitchers look okay. Paddock's been better. We know the Twins on the road, though, are not great. I'll ask you, though, for this game, because I think I like the Twins at plus 105, just picking what I think is the better pitcher at a pretty good price.
Yeah, I would agree. I think the wrong team is favorite. Excuse me. My numbers made the Twins a minus 120 favorite. Zach Littell, 0-3 at home this season. 4.33 ERA. Gives up the deep ball a little too much for my liking. He's given up 2+ runs in 6 straight starts. I don't like the offense for the Rays either. I know they just swept the Blue Jays, but they're only averaging 3.85 runs per game at home this season. Minnesota's the better team. They have the better pitcher. He's backed up by a top 5 bullpen as well. And honestly, I think they have the better lineup as well. So I think the wrong team is favored. I'll take the plus. You said plus 105?
Yeah, plus 105.
Yeah, plus 105. I'll play the Twins here. I think the wrong team is favorite.
Yeah, the over-under, by the way, is at 9. I would consider the under, but it's nothing that strong for me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on to the next game. You have the Pirates against the Diamondbacks. For this game, you have Heaney against Nelson. The Diamondbacks are minus 180. Pirates are plus 150. And the over-under in this game is set at about 9.5. Heaney this season's been pretty good. 3-3, 2.91 ERA. He has allowed less than 3 earned in 3 straight starts. As for the opposing pitcher, Nelson this season has been meh. 4.6 ERA. He was good last time out, though, against the Dodgers. 5 innings, 1 run, goes in no distance, basically. So we'll see how it goes for this one. But you might see the Diamondbacks bullpen pitch about 4 innings maybe in this one. I don't mind the first 5 under in this game, picking a low-scoring start. The line does feel very expensive, though. I know Pittsburgh is 6-19 on the road, but Arizona, after a great start this season, is below 500. They've lost 5 in a row. They've been really bad lately. Got swept by the Cardinals over the weekend. Every loss by 1 run, so they could have won those games. They did not.
Yeah.
I might actually go with the Pirates here. Pirates offensively were really bad for about a month straight. They actually were pretty decent offensively over the weekend against the Brewers. Did lose the series. Could have won the series, though. They hung in there. But you know what? Minus 180 for Nelson, who has not gone more than 5 innings in a while. I think it's a really large price for a team that's lost 5 in a row. Give me a spin on Pittsburgh here at plus 150.
Yeah, first off, I think the Snakes are too big of a favorite. I mean, I see minus 180, minus 185 is crazy. My numbers only made them a minus 155 favorite. I think the Buckles are live here, especially in the first 5 with Haney on the mound. Haney's actually the better pitcher on the road than at home this season. 2.45 ERA. Batter's only hitting a $156 off of him as well. I think Haney is way better than Ryan Nelson, who doesn't give the Snakes a lot of length. Walks are high, and he's backed up by a bottom 5 bullpen as well. I don't trust the Arizona's bullpen either. So, like you said, I know the Pirates aren't the best road team, but they've been playing some competitive baseball as of late. So, first 5 plus a half, I think, is a good play. I would even look at the under 9.5. I think total seems high. My total came out to 8.9. Andrew Heaney has been really good on the road, so I would look under, and I think the Pirates are live here, especially in the first 5.
Yeah, I do think first 5's interesting. I know people in the comment section are kind of roasting us for taking the Pirates, but it's based on price.
Yeah.
I'm not laying 180 with Arizona, who's lost 5 in a row with no bullpen. I can't do it. I just think it's an insane price for Arizona. They might get buried, sure, but Arizona's shown me nothing over the last week that warrants them being this big of a favorite, in my opinion.
I agree.
I'll pass on that. I'll give me the Pirates for the spin for the hell of it at around plus 150 or so.
It's all about getting value.
There's no value in Arizona,
None.
as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
So
I
either
agree.
way, moving on to the next game, you have the Marlins taking on the Padres. For this one, we know San Diego's been in free fall lately. They're playing right now against Atlanta. They are currently down 3-1. What else is new? And we know that the Marlins might actually win the series against the Angels. We'll see what happens, but either way, you have Weathers against Vasquez in this one. For the lines here, I don't believe I see anything for this game for the side or the total. But I'll ask you because the Padres have been really, really bad lately. They have lost, just doing the math quickly, they've lost 7 of their last 8, and they're trailing right now. So they might lose 8 of their last 9. The Marlins are a bad team, too. We're assuming that the Padres will be a massive favorite, though, because they are at home for this game, even though they've been terrible lately. And the Marlins aren't good, but Weather's actually been okay since coming back off the IL.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like deja vu for the game we just talked about.
Yeah.
Because San Diego's going to be a massive favorite, and I can't stand this team. So I don't want to lay whatever number I'm going to get. So I'll pass on San Diego. Give me a spin on the Marlins.
Yeah, I think Randy Vasquez is going for the Padres, and if so, I did make them a minus 175 favorite. There's no lines up yet. Correct me if I'm wrong. Last time I checked, but you know, I think both teams actually have been underwhelming. If I'm being honest, depending on what the total is, I probably would bet the under. If anything, my total came out to 7.1. You mentioned it, Ryan Weathers. You know, he's looked pretty good in his first 2 starts versus the Cubs. Only 1 run given up in both starts, and that's against one of the best offenses in the league. Now he gets a struggling Padres offense who's scored more. He's only scored more than 2 runs 1 time this past week. And look how good Randy Vasquez has been at home for the Padres. Only 1 game at home this year where he's only given up more than 1 run. So I think this is another low-scoring game. I really don't. I don't care who wins this game, but I think the under is the play. Probably a 3-1, 2-1 type of game. So I take under if anything.
I'd say the under is my favorite play, but I've noted what the line's going to be, and I cannot stand Miami's bullpen. But San Diego can't hit. The Marlins can't hit. It should be a very ugly game in Petco. So based on that, I like the under in general. Maybe another first 5 under, but I think the full game should be fine. Wings blowing left to right, so it should have no impact at all.
Yeah.
But damn, these offenses are really bad. And San Diego has been in free fall because this team really can't hit.
What happened with them?
I think it's twofold. 1, they peaked too early. And 2, they just have a serious cold stretch. I guess it happens, but we'll see what happens. Fair. But it has been a mess for this team recently. And Miami's not good. But you know what? They'll sneak up on you.
Yeah.
They would actually have more wins if their bullpen was even somewhat competent, but it's not. So based on that, I think I'll go first 5 under for this one. Moving on to the next game, you have the matchup between the Yankees and the Angels. Final game on the card. Angels down 3-0 right now. Yankees in a rain delay, but they are winning right now against the Rockies. So we'll see what happens. You have Yarbrough against Kachanowicz. For this one, you have the Yankees minus 165. The Angels are plus 140. For the over-under in this game, I see 9.5. Unders at minus 122. For the actual total in this one, winds blowing out, by the way, at 7.5 mile per hour winds or so. So the over might seem a bit high, but it's based on the wind too. So keep that in mind. So Yarbrough was a bullpen guy. Really bad to start the season. Been fine lately, though. Last 3 starts, the only 3 that he's made, he's given up less than 3 runs in every outing. In fact, he's given up just 4 runs total in about 14 innings. So he's been fine so far this season. Kachanowicz, though, is I don't think any good. I will point out that the Angels batters against Yarbrough has been around for a couple of years at this point. Their numbers are okay, not great. 260 on base, so once again, not great numbers against them. For Kachanowicz, though, it has been a pretty ugly season for him. 3-5, 5.03 ERA. Was good 2 straight starts and then got shelled by the A's. Give up 7 hits and 4 runs in 4 innings. Also walked 5 guys. He has been walking the entire team basically all season. He's walked at least 4 guys in 4 of his last 5 starts. The guy just can't throw strikes. So based on that, I think we'll go Yankees minus 1.5 here. The Yankees bullpen's been better lately. Devin Williams been really good for the last couple of weeks. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
Weaver's been an amazing reliever. Besides Munoz, he's been the second best reliever in the entire AL at this point. The Angels, though, have really no bullpen. Jansen's been a mess. Joyce out for the season. Kachanowicz stinks. And the Yankees might end up winning the series anyway because the offense woke up over the last 2 games. I'll go Yankees minus 1.5. Yarbrough's been serviceable. That's good enough. Kachanowicz has not. I'll go Yankees minus 1.5.
Yeah, this game was tough to handicap because both teams have been playing well, but getting plus money with the Yankees on the road on the run line, I agree. I have to take it. Yarbrough has been great on the road for the Yankees. Ever since he's gotten longer into games and the Yankees kind of been stretching him out a little bit, I think he's been solid for them. And you're right. How do you pronounce his name? Kachanowicz?
I say Kachanowicz. I could be wrong, but he should be he should be in AAA anyway. So it doesn't really matter.
He's just a little too inconsistent for my liking, and Yankees rake on the road. So I hate to admit it as well. We got people in the chat saying I hate the Yankees, but I mean I agree. But they're a good team. You just got to tip your cap to them. They are a good team. They're starting to wake up a little bit. I think this is a bad spot for him. He's also backed up by the worst bullpen in the league. Angels, their bullpen stinks. So Yankees team total over, and I also think they win big here. So minus 1.5, I like plus 102. I think that's a fair price.
Yeah, Yarbrough is that type of classic throwback pitcher where his fastball feels like it's going at 85 miles an hour, but he finds ways to actually get people out. It's just because he has a bunch of off-speed stuff that he leans into. The Angels do strike out a lot, so I do think throwing a bunch of off-speed pitches could actually work to his benefit in this matchup. And Yarbrough this season has been once again fine as he's gone longer. Struck out 8 guys last start against Texas, which is insane to think about. It tells you how bad Texas is. I can see strikeouts, though, in this outing for him. Off-speed lefty, a lot of off-speed, a lot of curveballs, a lot of chasing, and I do think the Angels do that a lot. So I don't mind the spot here for Yarbrough. Go with the minus 1.5 here for the Yankees at plus money for this one. Anyway, let's go wrap it up for the actual game breakdowns here for Monday. Now it's time for the Lock and Dog picks. Before we get into the Lock and Dog, a reminder that we are brought to you by our sponsor, which is Rhythm, because they're the home of AFF picks props available for the NBA playoffs, for the golf cards, for the MLB, for WNBA, etc. A reminder, they're also available for a free trial, for a 7-day free trial, so try it out once again if you want to get a taste of the action. Plus a reminder, you can also use their discount codes. They have 2. One for a monthly discount, one for an annual discount. For the monthly discount, use the promo code SGPN25 for a 25% discount. For the annual subscription, use promo code SGPN50 for a 50% discount. So once again, it's Rhythm, promo code SGPN25 for SGPN50. Sign up for the 7-day free trial by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RATHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RATHMM. We're also brought to you by Circle Ultimate Fantasy Bowl Giveaway, because Circle Resort and Casino in Las Vegas is giving away the Ultimate Fantasy Bowl experience for a 12-person league to draft in Vegas and be treated like VIPs for their stay. We're going to get a 2-night stay at the hotel for the entire 12-person league. You could also hold your draft at a cabana, stadium swim with a 5K food and beverage credit, limited transportation to and from the airport. That's a lot of cream sodas, Dylan, if you end up winning this contest. It's a lot of cream sodas. Keep that in mind. But a reminder, you also get a welcome party at Legacy Club for the league and much more. Contest is from May 5th to June 30th. You can enter at sportsgamblingcom/circa, sportsgamblingcom/CIRCA. We're also brought to you by MyBookie.ag, because MyBookie.ag plays in every sport. They have the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs, they have golf, they have UFC, they have tennis, you name it. They're available for anything you can really think of, including the extra DGen stuff if you want to go that direction. A reminder, though, they're also available in a ton of locations. Use crypto for links payouts. Easy deposit when you sign up, though. For your new account on MyBookie.ag, use the promo code SGPN. You get a special you get a special promo. You get a 1% match up to 1K. Terms and conditions apply. MyBookie.ag promo code SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through every game on the Monday card, all 12 games. We have every line except for one with the Marlins game. Sorry, but we can't really control that. Anyway, time to move on to the lock and dog picks, or for Dylan, the dog and lock picks. Dylan, what do you like as your picks for the show?
Yeah, we're going to start with the dog. Like I said, I think we both are in agreement. I think the wrong team is favored in this Twins and Rays game. I'm going to go with the Twins here, plus 106, plus 105, whatever you could see. I am not a fan of Zach Littell. 0-3 at home. He gives up the deep ball. Minnesota is just a much better team, I think. They have the better pitcher, top 5 bullpen, and I think their I think their lineup is better as well. So plus 106, I think the wrong team is favored. Give me the Twins as my dog. As my lock, where am I going to go? I'm actually going to take a total. I'm going to take the Reds and the Royals under 8.5. Michael Lorenzen, he's just been fantastic at home. Only 2 runs given up in 19 innings at home. He's looked extremely well. And Nick Martinez, he's looked pretty good in the last month. 1.80 ERA in the month of May. He doesn't walk batters, and his last 7 starts have gone under this total as well. We got 13-mile-an-hour winds blowing in as well. So yeah, I think this should be another low-scoring game. I'll take the under 8.5 with Reds and the Royals.
Yeah, so for my lock, I was kind of wondering which total I wanted to go with, because there were a couple of ones I was tempted by. And I know the Reds offense woke up, so I don't know if I want to bother with that one. You know what? I think I'll actually take a spin here, because the White Sox, even though they were good over the weekend, I don't trust them to actually hit. I'll go with the under at 8.5 in that White Sox and Mets game. I think the line is very affordable at minus 112. You're looking at what I think is a pretty decent pitching matchup. Hauser, who made one outing, gave up no runs, thought he was fine. White Sox, though, are still a bottom-tier offense. Mets with Holmes. Holmes has been fine lately. I think that he can pitch well, and you're looking at what I think, once again, is a pretty interesting matchup between two offenses that have not been that good lately. Mets are also off of these Sunday Night Baseball games. Maybe they come out flat. Yes, there's no travel involved, but still not the greatest spot when you play an afternoon game after having the, once again, night game on Sunday. So I kind of question why that was the spot they put the Mets in. I know that it's Memorial Day, but you're going to put a team at 4 o'clock if you're playing at like 8 p.m. on Sunday? That's a horrible spot. Give me the Mets and White Sox under 8.5 as my lock at minus 112. For my dog, I'll go with the Yankees minus 1.5 here at plus 105. Yes, I know that Ward has been great recently for the Angels. Besides that, though, nobody's done anything this entire weekend against the Marlins, and the Yankees offense got going against Colorado. Yarborough's been fine, and his numbers against the Angels over his career are pretty decent. You're looking at Kachanowicz, who walks the entire team, not really that good, should probably be in AAA, and the Angels have no bullpen. So I like the spot there for the Yankees. Give me the Yankees minus 1.5 at plus 105. I'd be shocked if that run line closed at plus money. Think that'll probably close like minus 110, minus 115. So I'll take it now before the line moves. Anyway, Dylan, it's going to wrap it up. Anything else you want to add?
Man, I got a few things I want to say. One, it's been 92 years since the United States juniors won. They won gold for the first time in 92 years. So it's back home. 2 huge game for the Mets and the Knicks tonight. I really hope we win. I'm not going to lie, Scott. Friday night, I was dead inside. Like, that was a tough game.
I like how you throw in, I hope the Mets win too, even though it's a regular season game compared to going down 3-0 in the playoffs. I like how you group both of them together. Just in case the Mets win and the Knicks lose, you can
I
be
can
somewhat
rationalize
happy.
it. Yeah.
Basically. So,
oh man, but yeah. Other than that, I have no report back for SpongeBob this week. I've been watching The Blacklist, so I'll get back on it. But it's been a busy week or weekend. But I don't ask for a lot, Scott, in life. I just want I just want to see my team go to the finals. That's all I want.
I have good news for you, though. Scott Foster is actually doing the game.
Is
For
that
the
good for
Knicks
us?
tonight? You're down 2-0. He's the extender. He's got to extend the series
All
somehow.
right.
So keep that in mind. If Brunson
right.
goes to the free throw line 15 times tonight, you know why.
That's good.
But either way, a point is Mets do play tonight. The Knicks do too. You a 2 TV guy, or going to be watching the Knicks and occasionally switching over just in case for the Mets?
Oh no, I have multiple TVs in my room, so I'll definitely have. But I'm a huge cable guy. I don't know about you, but I love cable, so I'll have the Met game on. While I also have the Knick game on.
See, the thing about cable is I feel like it depends on what type of provider and what package you have for it, because we know that a lot of these cable companies overcharge for stuff. But in the era of streaming, is cable now underrated? Have we done a full 180 on cable?
Very underrated. I was having that conversation with my friend, and I think the sports are the only ones keeping cable intact.
Yeah, you have that and a couple of the reality shows or like American Idol or any of those
They
the
stink.
competitions. I didn't say they were good, but
Yeah,
people watch them.
Yeah, you're right. They
American
do watch
Idol's been
them.
around for like 20 years.
By the
which
way,
is crazy to think about.
that guy on Twitter who asked us for our home run prop, I don't know if you saw, but Mal just responded saying, "Sorry, I'm drunk." He's a legend.
I'm trying to remember who I gave out for that home run pick.
You said
I gave out Olsen. I think I gave out
Olsen.
Matt Olsen. I actually don't even know if he homered today.
I
did he
gave
homer
Judge.
today? No, the Braves have not hit a home run yet. So
I gave Judge. So
wow, very original.
oh,
we'll see
on.
what happens there. What is he? What was he? Plus 180?
Plus 165. Come on.
Yeah, I see somebody in the chat asking for a home run prop. I know that you don't have to give one.
I retired.
You retired. Let me just quickly see if I can find somebody, because I want to give out a Cubs guy, but the wind blowing in does kind of concern me.
Mm-hmm.
It might actually be in that Yankees game, because Kachanowicz is just a mess. He walks a ton of guys. Does the home run issue there? 2 last start. I mean, Holmes giving up some home runs, but that involves backing a White Sox guy, which I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. So I can't really do that either. Does he have any history against the Yankees? No, he doesn't.
Are you a Ben Rice guy?
I think Rice kind of peaked earlier this season, and people think that he's like solid. I think he's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think he's like an amazing player, but you know what? We let some guys walk in the offseason. He's done a very good job filling in for the spot we need him. Goldschmidt's been great. Like, Goldschmidt's the guy who has been the main addition, in my opinion. I know Rice was on the team last year. He was a complete negative. He couldn't do anything last year.
Yeah.
But for the home run prop for the Yankees, has anybody been hitting home runs besides Judge recently? Like, I'm trying to think of who's been doing anything. There's like a lot of small ball stuff. Like a lot of just basic hits. So sorry, just trying to quickly find something for the public. I don't want to pick a Ranger because they can't hit either.
Pick Pete Alonso.
I liked a bunch of unders today. Like, it's the problem that I have. Let me just see one quick thing before I move on. You know what? Sure. Ryan Nelson's given up at least one home run in 3 of his last 4 starts. I'll go the only guy you could actually pick on the Pirates. Give me O'Neal Cruz.
Nice.
Did a home run. I saw he hit one about 124 miles an hour today, 122 miles an hour. I'll go with him. I picked him once this season. He homered, but Nelson's given up some runs too, and that bullpen sucks. And it's in Arizona, so I like the environment. Give me O'Neal Cruz, my home run pick for the games on Monday. Anyway, let's go wrap it up. We're back once again for the Prop Show Monday morning with Adam and I. Also back again at 5 p.m. on Monday for the Tuesday games. Till next time, good luck to all of you, and I'll